Okay, so I'm going to say it again. Everybody must correct every single question in order to get correction points. And then you're using your paper that I gave you to see which ones you missed. All right. Number 1, the diagram shows a right triangle. What was the clue word you saw right away? Right triangle. And the lengths of its two sides in inches. Which measurement is closest to the value of D in inches? Well, right triangle, right here on your star chart, you drew a right triangle right here, and you labeled the side across from the right angle as C. So you know you're going to use Pythagorean theorem. So the first thing you should have done is found the right angle, which is right here, and draw a line across from it and label that what? Side C. If I am writing and you're not, then you will not get correction points and your grade will stand as it was. Okay, we'll call this side A and this side B. Now, does it matter if you mix these two up? No. So if you labeled them differently than me, then you're perfectly fine. Now write the formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I'm going to say it again. If I am writing and you are not, so if I have this written and you don't, you do not get correction points. Your grade will stand, and I don't see everybody writing. I still don't see everybody writing. All right, now I'm going to fill in what I know. I know that A is 11.9, so I have 11.9 squared, plus I know that B is 7.9, so 7.9 squared. Do I know C? So I just call it C squared. When I'm solving for C, do I add or subtract? Add. So I take my calculator and I put this part in. 11.9 squared plus 7.9 squared. And I get 204.02 is equal to C squared. But is that my answer? No, that is C squared. That is the area of this square that's imaginary, like out here. So to get the side length, I take that number and I do what to it? I square root it. And that will give me C. So I have the square root, of 204.02, which is 14.28. So the answer that's closest is C. Question. That is not what I said.
That's not what you said. If I guessed, yeah.
The next question. The perimeter of the triangle is 17x, and we did a whole lesson on how to set these up. The perimeter is 17x. So how could I write that? Perimeter is, what is in math? What is in math? Equals. Like if I said 2 plus 2 is 4. That's 2 plus 2 equals 4. So is. All right. Which equation can be used to find the value of x? Well, how do you find perimeter? How do you find perimeter? What does perimeter mean? Add all the sides. So it's this side plus this side plus this side. So I have 15 plus 15 plus 7x is equal to 17x, because this is the perimeter. Yes? Do you see an answer that looks like that? No. But do you think I could combine 15 plus 15? What is 15 plus 15? So I have 30 plus 7x is equal to 17x. Now does one of those look like that? Which one? Okay, let's look at A. 30 plus 7x, is that what I have here? Yes, and over here is 17x. Is that good? Does it matter that they're not like on the same side as the way I set it up? No. Okay, let's turn the page. Number 3, based on the scatter plot, which is the best prediction of the weight in pounds of a dog that is 28 weeks old. So the first thing I'm going to do is find 28 weeks. Y'all, everybody see weeks right here?
Yeah.
Where would 28 be?
22 and 20. You said 28.
Where would 28 weeks be? Right here between 26 and 30. Okay? Now the next thing I need to do is draw a trend line. Remember that to draw a trend line, you can draw your little guidelines, or you can just kind of find 2 dots that would fall right in the middle and connect them. And if you don't like it, then redraw it. Everybody should have a trend line drawn. You can use the side of your calculator if you need a straight edge. And then on your STAR test, remember that it's on the computer, so you'll use that tool where it connects the line. Okay, now you're going to go to 28 and you're going to draw a line up and over. And I am between 70 and 80. Does everybody agree? I am over here between 70 and 80. So which of these answers fits it best? 75. Okay, number 4. I see a clue word right away. What do y'all see? Cylinder. So I'm going to highlight it. A cylinder has a height of 5 feet. So I'm going to go like this. They told me the height is 5 feet. And a diameter of 2 feet. Do we ever need diameter? If they give you the diameter, what should you do? Divide by 2 to get the radius. So what is 2 divided by 2?
Wait, what?
What's 2 divided by 2? 1. Which measurement is closest to the volume? That's my main clue word. So where do I need to go? To my star chart. So I go to volume of a cylinder. And I'm going to write pi r squared h. That's straight from my star chart. And now I'm going to fill in pi times my radius squared, 1 squared, times my height, which is 5. And then you're going to take your calculator and type that in. Okay, the answer is 15.7. So the closest answer, the exact same answer, is B. Okay, number 4. A list of numbers ordered from least to greatest is shown below. One number is missing. Which number could be the missing number? So this is the least, then this one, then this one. Do we even really need this number? Because it's between this one and this one. Does this one already look like money? Okay, so this one's good, but what do I need to change this one to? A decimal. So let's go change that to a decimal. The square root of 17, and we want it to look like money, so we only write the first 2 decimals, $4.12. So I'm looking for a number that falls between $3.71 and $4.12. So I've got to go change all of these to decimals. Yes? This first one, how much money is that worth? $4.50. Is that going to be in the middle, or is it too much? Okay, so not that one. How do I change a percent to a decimal? So I have 3.8 over 100, which is 0.038. That's like 3 pennies, almost 4 pennies. That's way too little. Okay, let's go change this to a decimal. 57 over 15. Math, decimal, enter. How much money is that? Is that $3.08 or $3.80? $3.80. Good. $3.80. Would that fit in the middle?
Yes.
Yes. Number 6. A rectangle is graphed on a coordinate grid. Which transformation will result in a rectangle that is not congruent? All right, let's talk about our transformations. We've got reflections, rotations, translations, and dilations. Which one of those will make it not the same? Dilations make a shape bigger or smaller. So that means it will not be congruent, because congruent means the exact same. So the answer was A. You didn't really care about what it was dilated by, but a dilation will change the size of an image, so therefore it's not congruent. A rotation will keep it the exact same. A translation keeps it the same, and a reflection keeps it the same. So please remember, the only one that changes it is a dilation. All right, number 7. There are a total of 463,100 books in a library. What is the value of the exponent when this number is written in scientific notation? Do they want the whole number, or do they just want the exponent? All right, so where am I going to go in my calculator? Yeah, but where do I go? Mode. And let's change it to, I don't see everybody doing this with me. Let's change it to SCI. And type in 463. Do I put the comma? No. 100. What is the exponent for this? 5. The exponent is 5. Now, where would that go in this box? Before the decimal or after? Before, right here. Since it's positive, you don't have to put the positive, but you can. When's the only time you have to fill that part out? When it's negative, you have to. All right, what should we do to our calculator right now? Put it back. We don't want to leave it in SCI, so put it back to normal. Number 8. What is the y-intercept of the graph? Now, could you do this one just by looking? Could you also use stat? Yes, let's do it by looking first. So where's the y-intercept? Where it touches the y-axis. So I highlighted the y-axis. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in. Where is this line touching the y-axis? Right here at 1. Well,
It's a little bit above 1.
it sure is. So should we use stat? Because we don't see the answer. Yes, so if you don't see the answer, go to stat. So here we go. Stat edit. Now, remember, if you need to, make yourself a table so that it's easier to put in stat like that. So I have 4 and negative 5, and then I have 8 and negative 7. Again, I don't see everybody doing this with me. Now I go to stat calc, option 4. What is the y-intercept? 1.3 repeating. Write that down. 1.3 repeating. Now, do you see that answer over here? No. Some of us might know what it is, but a lot of us don't. So how could I make these look like this? Change them to a... So I'm going to go do option A. So I'm changing 3/2. Is that... Oops. Math decimal enter. Is that 1.3 repeating? No, that's 1.5. All right, let's do 4/5. Math decimal enter. Is that 1.3 repeating? No, that's 0.8. All right, let's look at C. Is that 1.3 repeating? No, that's 1.6 repeating. So it's got to be 4/3. Math, decimal, enter. Does that match? Yes. So that's it. Please don't miss those questions because they don't match your answer. Okay? Use stat and then change those to decimals. Number 9. A circle is graphed on a coordinate grid with its center at -4, 7. The circle's going to be translated, that means slid across, yes? P units right. So P right. That's just a number. P could be like 3 right, but they called it P instead of a number. And V units down. V down. So don't let these confuse you. That's just a number. Now let's talk about it. What axis moves left to right? What axis moves left to right? The X. So this is going to go with the X-axis. What axis moves up and down? So this is going to go with Y. Now, where was your X at? So instead of writing X, I'm starting with -4. So this is going to be -4 plus P. Where was your Y at? So this is going to be 7 plus V. So which one says -4 plus P and 7 plus V? A. Hold on. Oh, what did I do wrong? Y'all didn't correct me.
Down is a minus.
What did I do wrong? Down should have been minus. Up is positive, down is negative. So what answer matches that? B. Number 10. Rhonda's job is to drive a car for a company. Each month she is paid the same salary. She's also paid extra money for the number of miles she drives the car each month. In July, Rhonda drove 640 miles and was paid a total of $3,502. In August, she drove 820 miles and was paid $3,601. Which function can be used to find y? What do these look like? Y equals mx plus b. And where do we write equations in our calculator? We could go to y equals. What else could we do to write an equation, though? What writes it for us? Stats. What they gave you was points on a table. So make your little table. The first point they gave you was 640. And what number went with that? 3502. The next point they gave me was 820 and 3601. And if I go to stat, it will write that equation for me. Everybody should be putting this in. Stat calc, option 4. And there's your equation. Y equals 0.55x plus 3150. So which answer is it? C. Number 11. The table shows the cost per year of attending different types of colleges. A student is planning to attend college in 5 years. So I guess they're like an 8th grader. The student has saved $1,200 but needs to save another $50 per month over the next 60 months. Based on this information about the student's plan, which statement about the possible choices for a college is true? Okay, so I'm going to have to go do some math. This is not a fun question, but let's look at it together. A student is planning on saving for 5 years. They've already saved $1,200. How much are they planning to save per month? I'm pointing to it, but y'all can't answer me. $50 per month for how many months? Can I go do some calculating to see how much that is? How would I do that? If they're saving 60 per month for 60 months, 50 per month for 60 months, what would I do? Multiply it. So let's go do it. 50 times 60. That's how much money they will have saved in 60 months, yes? So in 60 months, they've saved $3,000. What do they already have? They already have what? They already have what? Thank you. So how much do they have total? Wouldn't I add that together? Yes? 1,200 plus 3,000 is 4,200. That's how much money they're going to have for school. So now that we know that, let's look at this table. A public 2-year school is going to be $4,000 per year. A public 4-year school is about $11,000 per year. A public 4-year school, if they go out of state, is $28,000 per year. And a private school, $38,000 per year. All right, now that we know all that information, let's look at the question. A, the student would be able to afford the cost for 1 year at a private school. No, they only have $4,200. How much would they need for a private school? Yeah, they don't have that kind of money. Private school's out. B, the student would be able to afford out-of-state cost for half a year at the college. Well, let's look at out-of-state is $28,000. They don't even have half of that. Half of $28,000 is $14,000. They don't have that kind of money. Okay, let's look at C. The student would be able to afford in-state costs for half a year at a public school. How much is public school? And half of 11,000 is like 5,500. Do they have enough? Nope. All right, let's look at D. The student would be able to afford in-state cost for 1 year at a public 2-year college. Yes. That one was a lot of thinking. Number 12. I don't even know how to pronounce this, but I'm going to do my best. Fulgurites are pieces of glass in the shape of a... Do you think I should highlight that or circle that? Yeah. Produced when lightning strikes sand. A student found a fulgurite with a height of 21. Should I write that down? A height of 21. I don't see everybody writing. And a diameter of 6. What do I do if I'm given diameter? Divide by 2. So what's 6 divided by 2? So the radius is 3. Which equation can be used to find the volume? So where do I go? Star chart. So I go to volume of a cylinder and I write this formula down. Pi r squared h. I don't see everybody writing. So I have pi times 3 squared times 21. Do I go put that in my calculator? No, because look at their answer choices. They just want to know which one is set up correctly. So is A set up correctly? What'd they do wrong with A? They put the diameter in. Very good. All right, is B set up correctly? Yes. Number 13. The line graphed on the coordinate grid can be used to determine the number of inches of water added to a swimming pool after a different number of hours. Which statement best describes the slope? Where can I get slope at? Stat. But to use stat, what do I need? I need a table with 2 coordinates. So is it passing through 0, 0? Okay, that's my first dot. The next dot I see where it's passing through really good is right here. What is the x value of that dot? 5. What is the y value of that dot? All right, let's go to stat. We should be in stat. Now stat calc, option 4. What is the slope? 2.4. Do you see that as an answer? Yes. Number 14. The coordinates of the vertices of a rectangle are as follows. Which measurement is closest to the... Did y'all see a clue word? What was the clue word? Where do we write distance on our star chart? Right here under Pythagorean theorem, we write distance / diagonal. If you see the word distance, it's a very good clue that you can use Pythagorean theorem. All right, so I'm probably going to use Pythagorean theorem, but let's look at it. Between point B and D. So everybody find point B and D. If I draw a line between B and D, did I just make a right triangle? Yes. Does it matter which triangle I use? No, they're the exact same. Okay, so I'm going to count this side right here. Now, again, it probably looked way better on your actual test because you could see the lines. But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. Write it down with me. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 units. And this would be side C. I don't see everybody writing. So I have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So I'm going to say 6 squared plus 12 squared equals C squared. Do I add or do I subtract? I add. So 6 squared plus 12 squared is 180. And what do I do to that answer? Bless you. So which answer is closest? B. You're going to make sure your name is on that. You're going to pass it to the right, and that's your credit for 1 through 14.